Hello, fifth graders, and happy Tuesday. Today we're going to continue talking about shapes. Today we're going to talk about types of quadrilaterals, which are another kind of polygon. You're going to do a great job. I know it, and so does Mr. Smiles. Let's dive right into our video. Let's start with our do now. Tamia was running on the track team. She ran 2/3 of a mile on Monday and 2/5 of a mile on Tuesday. How many more miles did Tamia run on Monday than on Tuesday? What operation would I need to use to solve this problem? I would need to subtract. I'm finding a difference. How many more? So I need to do 2/3 minus 2/5. Can I subtract these two fractions like they are? No, they don't have the same denominator. So the first thing I need to do is list my multiples and find the least common denominator. Go ahead and do that now. What's the least common denominator of 2/3 and 2/5? The least common denominator is 15. Now I can change both fractions so that 15 is the denominator. When I change 2/3 so that 15 is the denominator, what's the new numerator? Well, 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10. When I change 2/5 so that 15 is the denominator, what's the new numerator? Well, 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 3 is 6. So now I can subtract. What's 10/15 minus 6/15? The correct answer is 4/15. Tamia ran 4/15 more miles on Monday than on Tuesday. Now let's try number 2, find the volume. Remember, to find the volume, I can multiply length times width times height. First, what's the length of this shape? The length is 3. What's the width of this shape? The width is 5. What's the height of this shape? The height is 4. So what's the volume? Well, 3 times 5 is 15, times 4 is 60 cubic units. Now let's do number 3. Multiply. What's 386 times 28? Well, let's start by multiplying 8 times everything. Then we can multiply 20 times everything. Remember, we can use two partial products. What's 8 times 6? It's 48. What's 8 times 8? It's 64, plus 4 more is 68. What's 8 times 3? It's 24, plus 6 more is 30. Now I'm done with my 8. What's the next thing I need to do? I need to drop a 0 because I'm about to multiply in the tens place. What's 2 times 6? It's 12. What's 2 times 8? It's 16, plus 1 more is 17. What's 2 times 3? It's 6, plus 1 more is 7. Now I can add. What's 8 plus 0? It's 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 7 plus 1 is 8. 7 plus 3 is 10. The correct answer is 10,808. Now let's do another. Write 432 thousandths in expanded form. Circle the word and. That tells us where our decimal goes. So now I need to write 432 thousandths in standard form first. How do I write 432 thousandths in standard form? Well, I first write 400, then and tells me to put my decimal point, 32 thousandths. Now I can write that in expanded form by multiplying each digit times its place value. 4 is in the hundreds place, so I would write 4 times 100. plus 3 is in the hundredths place. So I would write 3 times 1 over 100 plus 2 is in the thousandths place. So I would write 2 times 1 over 1,000. Now let's do 2 more. Tyler bought a bag of chips for $1.97 and a cold drink for 87 cents. He paid with a $5 bill. How much change did he receive? First, I need to find how much Tyler spent. What operation should I use to find the total amount that Tyler spent? I need to add. What's $1.97 plus 87 cents? Well, 7 plus 7 is 14. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 8 is 18. 1 plus 1 is 2. So Tyler spent $2.84. He paid with a $5 bill. What operation should I use to find how much change he received? I need to subtract $5 minus the $2.84 he spent. So how much change did he receive? Well, when I subtract, I get 6, 1, and 2. Tyler got $2.16 in change. Let's do another. Which has a 6 that is worth 10 times as much as the 6 in 59 and 67 hundredths? First, what place is the 6 in 59 and 67 hundredths? It's in the tenths place. I'm looking for a 6 worth 10 times as much. If it's worth 10 times as much, is it bigger or smaller? It's bigger. How many places bigger is it if I multiply by 110? It's 1 place bigger. What place value is 1 place bigger than the tenths place? The ones place. Which answer choice has a 6 in the ones place? The correct answer is D. We've been working in simplifying in our fluency. Let's go ahead and simplify these fractions. We'll do 2 together. Look at number 1, 2/4. What's the largest number that goes into both? 2 is the largest number that goes into both. When I divide 2 and 4 by 2, what's my simplified fraction? It's 1/2. Now let's look at number 2. What's the largest number that goes into both? Well, 5. When I divide 35 and 40 by 5, what's the simplified fraction? It's 7/8. Now you try the rest. Simplify 3/6. What's 3/6 written in simplest form? Well, 3 goes into both. The correct answer is 1/2. 18 over 20. Write 18 over 20 in simplest form. Well, 2 goes into both. The correct answer is 9/10. 4 over 36. Write it in simplest form. 4 goes into both. The correct answer is 1/9. 5 over 35. Write it in simplest form. 5 goes into both. The correct answer is 1/7. 3 over 30. Write it in simplest form. 3 goes into both. The correct answer is 1/10. 44 over 48. 4 goes into both. Write it in simplest form. Well, the correct answer is 11 over 12. Write 9/10 or 2/4 in simplest form. 2 goes into both. The correct answer is 1/2. Write 10 over 45 in simplest form. 5 goes into both. The correct answer is 2/9. Write 6/14 in simplest form. 2 goes into both. The correct answer is 3/7. Write 4/28 in simplest form. 4 goes into both. The correct answer is 1/7. Write 5/15 in simplest form. 5 goes into both. The correct answer is 1/3. Write 4/32 in simplest form. 4 goes into both. The correct answer is 1/8. Write 25/60 in simplest form. 5 goes into both. The correct answer is 5/12. Today we're going to classify quadrilaterals. Write that on your paper. Quadrilaterals. We're going to define quadrilateral in just a moment. Quadrilaterals are a type of polygon. Polygon. A polygon is any closed shape made out of line segments. A triangle is a type of polygon. A square or rectangle is a type of polygon. A pentagon is a type of polygon. A quadrilateral is any polygon with 4 sides. So any closed shape made out of straight lines with 4 sides is a quadrilateral. A rectangle is a quadrilateral. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral. Now, there are several different kinds of quadrilaterals that we're going to learn about. A quadrilateral with at least one pair of parallel sides is a trapezoid. A trapezoid. A trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides. So look, in the example I just drew, the 2 sides are parallel. They'll never touch. But the top and bottom are not parallel. In this example, the top and bottom are parallel, but the 2 sides are not. So when it has one set of parallel sides, it's a trapezoid. Sometimes we'll have a quadrilateral where both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. That's called a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, both sets of opposite sides are parallel. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal to each other, and opposite angles are equal to each other. There are some special kinds of parallelograms. A rectangle is a kind of parallelogram. It's a parallelogram with 4 right angles. So I can see, when I draw a rectangle, the top and bottom are parallel to each other, and the 2 sides are parallel to each other. So a rectangle is a type of parallelogram. It has 2 pairs of parallel sides, but it also has 4 right angles. A rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. So if all 4 sides are equal, it's a rhombus. Now, a square is both a rectangle and a rhombus. So a square has 4 right angles and 4 equal sides. A square is also a type of parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. The last type of quadrilateral we'll learn about is a kite. A kite looks like a kite you might see in a cartoon, where the sides that are next to each other or adjacent are equal to one another. Let's look at some examples. Write every name for each polygon and circle the most specific name. When we do this, we're going to go through all of our vocabulary words from quadrilateral down and see if they apply. Look at number 1. Is number 1 a quadrilateral? Yes. It has 4 sides. So write quadrilateral. Is number 1 a trapezoid? No, it has more than one set of parallel sides. Is number 1 a parallelogram? Yes, it has 2 sets of parallel sides. Is number 1 a rectangle? Does it have 4 right angles? Yes. Is number 1 a rhombus? Does it have 4 equal sides? Well, if I look at the lines, these 2 sides are equal, but these 2 sides are not equal. So no, it is not a rhombus. Is it a square? No. So the most specific name is rectangle. Look at number 2. Is it a quadrilateral? Does it have 4 sides? Yes. Is it a trapezoid? Does it have one set of parallel sides? Yes, the top and bottom are parallel. It's not a parallelogram, so I know it isn't any of my other shape names. Look at number 3. Is it a quadrilateral? Yes. Number 3 is also a kite, because sides that are right next to each other are equal. I can see that these 2 sides are equal, and these 2 sides are equal. Kite is the best name for it. Now you try one. Which names could apply for number 4? Number 4 is a quadrilateral and has 4 sides. It's also a parallelogram. The opposite sides are parallel. But the most specific name is rhombus. It has 4 equal sides. Now you try number 5. Number 5 is a quadrilateral and a parallelogram. Parallelogram is its most specific name. Now you try number 6. Number 6, the only name that works is quadrilateral. It has 4 sides, but it's not any of our special kinds. For numbers 7 through 12, give the best name for each quadrilateral. What's the best name for number 7? What's the most specific name? Number 7 is a parallelogram. What's the best name for number 8? The best name for number 8 is a rectangle. What's the best name for number 9? The best name for number 9 is a square. What's the best name for number 10? The best name for number 10 is a trapezoid. What's the best name for number 11? The best name for number 11 is a rhombus. What's the best name for number 12? The best name for number 12 is a kite. You've done a great job on this video. On the next page, you can see several IXL skills to work on. If you get to a SMART score of 90, you can get a signature from Ms. Tramontosi that'll be worth an A in the gradebook. You may listen to music while you work. You're going to do a great job.